Could this have been the lamest Survivor Series card that we've ever seen in the Triple H era? Man, I tell you, after watching that show last night, there were a lot of expectations, and I'm not going to sit here and talk about every single match because, quite frankly, every single match on the show is not worth talking about. I'm sorry, but the women's war game match, you see, I'm not exactly sure why they didn't build more tension for this match. Rhea Ripley and Charlotte Flair seem to have zero issues working together, and the build-up was supposed to be a situation where the two were going at each other and have some tension to the point where it would unravel at War Games, and that did not happen. AJ Lee was really the only highlight in this entire match. And here's the thing. I know I'm being very I guess critical, but it's because this has to make sense to the viewer, and it didn't make sense to me. Why is Becky Lynch pretending to be this sort of, I would say, this sort of chicken who is afraid of AJ Lee? Like, let's look at AJ Lee. Okay, her physique, the way she looks, like, does she come off as being menacing? Does she come off as being someone who, like a Nia Jax, that you got to fear? You know, because she's twice your size. Like, I don't understand that dynamic. And I don't know if it's just me or if the crowd feels this way too, if the audience feels this way too. That match overall didn't really need to happen in War Games. I think this whole trying to market this show is just to sell tickets, you know, calling it War Games and having the structure. It just didn't feel like it was necessary for the women. Now we move on to the John Cena match. You know, this might have been um, a great send off for Cena, you know, as a final PLE. But the match itself, there was nothing special about it. I mean, we had Liv Morgan return, which was you know, a surprise because of the situation, like the timing of it. She returned pretty soon, but other than that, I mean, we know Dominic Mysterio is going to be the future, and this was John Cena's way of really giving back to the future of this company, and that is Dominic Mysterio. Give it 5 years, I'd say, and he will be holding the world title. He'll have the world title around his waist. So other than that, it was great to see John Cena. Always gets a great crowd reception. One match left for John Cena, and you know, we're going to get into uh, you know, how they're going to book his final match. The person that we feel is going to be facing him is going to be Gunther. I will be dropping a video on that as well this week, so stay tuned for that. And then we moved into Nikki Bella and Stephanie Vaquer. Now, uh, this was a match that could have been on television, could have been on SmackDown, it could have been on Raw. Nothing exciting about this one. Stephanie retains. That's pretty much it. The talking point of this show is the main event, and the thing is, there's a lot of negatives than there are positives, which is why I was calling this one of the sort of underwhelming, lame, uh, just kind of put together show, but there was no care behind it. There was no feeling behind it. Um, I also recognize that a lot of the talent here, it sounded on Netflix when you're watching this, or wherever you guys are watching it. If you have to uh, subscribe to ESPN or if you watch it on YouTube, the sound in the stadium doesn't always get to the viewer. Like if you're in the stadium, you're able to kind of hear the people around you. But if you're watching this from home or wherever you are, the sound in the ring and the reactions, they don't come to the viewer and it doesn't seem as loud as it should be. So I noticed a lot of people, a lot of wrestlers that were coming out. The reactions didn't seem amazing because of the sound system and also the way the stadium is built. It's outdoor, so it's really hard for you to hear exactly how loud the stadium gets when they're cheering or booing a wrestler. So I noticed that, and that kind of threw like a monkey wrench into the whole experience. So I'm not really sure if they really needed to do a whole stadium, uh, have a stadium to have Survivor Series in. It seems like that's what they're trying to sell out these stadiums, and they have these major PLEs. Um, but sometimes it's always better to look at it this way. If you can sell out an arena versus having a stadium, we noticed the stadium didn't seem like it fully sold out. But if you have an arena that's sold out, it just looks better as a presentation than having a stadium where, yeah, we could fit like more people into it, but it doesn't fill capacity, so it looks like there's actually less people that decide to buy tickets. Presentation wise, it's always better to go with, let's have a smaller venue, but let's pack it out, and it will look like it's sold out, which it is. It just looks good for presentation. So sometimes we don't always need to have a stadium show, and it's something that they gotta understand as well. Like stadium shows are not necessarily the best for sound and for reaction purposes and all that. Now we get to the main event. This main event had a pretty decent build. Like the match itself was pretty good, I would say. Um, we had the situation with Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns going back and forth before the War Games officially started. I kind of like the touch there. Um, Braun Breaker is just that man is built differently. Him just being in the ring is a specimen to watch. I'm glad we get the chance to see him on the main stage, and he's going to have a big role as well heading into WrestleMania season. Um, this mystery attacker is what I feel WWE took the easy way out. They could have built so much more tension in this match with so many other proponents and components, I should say, but they chose to take this mystery attacker route. This being the focal point of the match. And quite frankly, I didn't really like it. I didn't like the fact that we're getting, this sort of mystery attacker, and he's the one who attacks CM Punk. And because of that, CM Punk had to take the pinfall. So I'm certain that whoever this mystery attacker is, CM Punk is going to be the one who's likely going to be facing off against this person, whoever it is. We don't know who it is. Some people are saying Austin Theory. The body language looks like it could be him. Some people are saying Randy Orton. Not really sure about that. It could be a totally new face. We have no idea. But regardless of all that, the tension that we were hoping for, we didn't see that. Um, we didn't see any kind of tension between Braun Breaker and Brock Lesnar. Like the sort of issues within the teams. We didn't see that. We didn't see any tension between Roman Reigns and Jey Uso, Jimmy Uso. We didn't see any of that. We didn't see any tension. Uh, Other than when the match was over, we saw this sort of stare down with Roman, Punk, and Cody. And we saw Punk fist bump Roman, but then we saw Roman and Cody going at it sort of back and forth verbally, saying that, this is the last time that we're ever going to team together. And this makes people believe that, we're going to see Roman and Cody for a third time. I do not think we'll see Cody and Roman for a third time. Um, I don't think that will ever happen. I believe that the way that they could go with Cody is either he's going to be facing off against Gunther at WrestleMania because Gunther is going to be the one to retire John Cena. And from there, he either could go for World Championship or WWE Championship, whichever one it might be. He's going for a title, that's for sure. We could see Cody versus Gunther, or we could see Cody versus Braun Breaker. Because we didn't see the setup for Braun and Roman or Braun and Brock Lesnar here. Um, so my thought process is that Cody might go up against Braun Breaker at WrestleMania. Um, so it just kind of leaves things up in the air. Again, I don't believe that we will see Cody and Roman for a third time. I don't think that's going to happen. A lot of people are saying, what if we get Punk and Braun Breaker? I mean, that's also another a possibility beforehand because Braun was the one who pinned Punk. I think that might be more likely than seeing Cody and Braun. We could see Punk and Braun. We could see maybe what would happen is we could see Braun take the title off of Punk because this mystery attacker comes back, right? Maybe the guy doesn't even reveal himself. Maybe the reason why Punk loses the title to Braun is because of whoever this guy is, and we have this storyline where we don't know who this guy still is, and then they're gonna cap it off and maybe reveal on the way to WrestleMania perhaps. But that could be a way where Braun wins the title, and then you can either do it one or two ways, right? You could either have Roman go after Braun Breaker, or you could have maybe Seth Rollins comes back and we could see a Seth Rollins and Braun Breaker at WrestleMania. If that happens, we're not sure if Seth will make it, but if Seth does, then that's the matchup to have at that point in time. Is Braun and Seth. And as for Roman Reigns, you guys saw that the beat down that he took by Lesnar. We may see a Lesnar and Reigns matchup heading into the next PLE. I really hope we don't, though. I don't think we want to revisit that again. But maybe it was just for that match that we saw the two go at it, and this idea of the two alpha males. I would say that they were the two leaders of their team, Roman and Brock. It really wasn't Cody, if I'm really looking at it. But I feel like they could go in different ways. We don't have a clear-cut answer. But I feel like certain that we're not going to see Cody and Roman, and we're not going to see Brock and Roman. I think WWE. I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt here. I think it's time to move on and really build up these new stars. Braun Breaker, get him in the picture, and tell us who this mystery attacker is, so that we can have an understanding of what it's looking like as we head into WrestleMania season. But that was pretty much it, guys. As I said, I'm intrigued to see who the mystery attacker is. I do believe this is another member of the Vision. Brock Lesnar is not a member of the Vision, by the way. So really, they only have and Drew McIntyre isn't a member either. So it's just Braun, Bronson, and Logan Paul right now. Seth Rollins is, he's out. So this will be the fourth member of this team when they do finally reveal who the person is. But if I'm going to rate this show, like if I was ESPN and I was rating this show, I would probably give this, with all the hype behind it and everything was, so well put together in terms of like, this is a must-see match, War Games, I don't think it delivered. So I think I would give this match a solid C. The letter C, that's the grade I'd give it. These guys, I mean, they put their heart and soul on the line, but WWE seriously needs to, they just need to do better here. They need to do better. And we hope that that's what they'll do as they head into the final, I guess, their only last PLE. It's not a PLE, but it's Saturday night's main event, which might be considered a mini PLE because it's John Cena's final match. We hope that they do something for that show. That show needs to deliver as we head into Royal Rumble season. And that is all. So I will see you guys in the next video. Let me know, how did you feel? If you're going to grade this, if you're ESPN right now and you're looking at this show, are you grading this an A, a B, a C, or a D? Where is it that you lie on the scale? Drop your comments in the comments below. Let me know. And I will see you guys in the next video. Take care.